This was actually a class I created. I remember years ago, the guy that was my original trainer, he was going to open up a brand new office and had me run the office. I was an assistant manager at the time. I was about to go open my own office, and he had me run the office. Now, the only catch is that he took all the A players, the B players, and he snatched them up and he went up to this other office so that he could help develop that office. He left me with a C, B's, and a handful of F's. Okay, so now I got the weakest group in the bunch. So we were originally the strongest office. They take half the office. Now we got a kind of a weak office there, and things weren't looking too well. I got a lot of phone calls. What's going on? This place is falling apart. You can't do it. I can't believe this. I can't believe we trusted you in charge. And it was a real kick in the butt. So I had to figure out, the only thing that I can appreciate about that is because I had to take those. They ridiculed me so much that I actually took those weak players and I turned those guys into strong players. Okay, I'm glad that they actually pushed me like that, because throughout the rest of my time as sales training, that one little incident that happened, it changed my life forever. It actually made me more successful as a trainer. Actually pushed me to be one of the most successful sales trainers in my field at the time, and helped me bump things up another level on how to develop people. Okay, so at that point in time, though, to get back to the story there, I created a thing called Secrets in the Field, and it was a little over 20 steps there on things that'll help people become more successful. Whether it be door to door, at the time we were doing door to door sales, or whether it be business to business, and sales in general. And just so you know, the kind of sales that I've always done, the kind of sales that I coach, are the most aggressive sales, the hardest sales. These are the door-to-door cold calling sales. These are the business-to-business cold calling sales. This isn't something we're walking in with leads, so you have to be on your game. So this isn't order taker game. We're not out here taking orders. We're out here making orders. So let's get to it. I'm going to tell you about the secrets in the field here. Okay, this is my favorite class that I teach. So first off, the number one secret in the field, when anybody starts brand new with sales, I want to figure out how to make them comfortable. I'm going to teach this all the sales trainers, whether you're a salesman or a sales trainer. This is going to be great for you. Number one is act like you've known the person for 5 years, okay? Because when you've known somebody 5 years, you don't talk to them like you just met them today, okay? So people want to buy from people that are like them or that they know, okay? So when I walk up to somebody, I'm not like, "Hi, how are you today? My name is Eric. Here's what we're doing." It's not that awkward introduction, okay? Say, "What's up, bud? Hey, good to see you, man. How are you? Hey, how you been?" I'm acting like I've known him for 5 years. How would you talk to your friend if you went and pitched him today? Would it be the same as the person you're about to pitch right now? If not, take a step back and redirect the way you talk to him. As much as you'd like to say, I got to be super professional and this and that. Hey, I agree, but people like to buy from people they like. If they don't like you, I don't care how good your product is. You're not going to make that sell, my friend. Every now and again you might get lucky, but I can tell you, the guy that they like will outsell you hands down, even if he isn't as professional, okay? So, number two, ask how they've been. I ask how they've been a different way. I'm not saying, "How are you doing?" I ask how they've been as if I've seen them before. "Hey, how you been? Hey, good to see you again." And actually, I believe that's the next one. Good to see you again. So, "Hey, how you been? Good to see you again, man. Everything going good? Yeah, all right." That's how I meet. Right when I meet you, "Hey, what's going on, man? Hey, how you been?" I'm not saying this even if I've never even met you before. That is the introduction, okay? I want to make sure you feel like I've known you for 5 years. You ever met that person and you feel like you've known them their whole life? That's what I try to do as soon as I meet you. You get the upper hand right away, and now everybody feels comfortable with you, and now you roll into the sales so much smoother because you're like, "Hey, I like this guy. I know this guy. This is somebody I can work with." I feel like I've known this guy my whole life. We're like brothers over here. Is that the person you want to do business with, or that person like, "Hey, here's what it is. We got this thing. It's really cool, man. It's let me show you my presentation." I want that person that's going to have fun with me. And I said, the one thing I always train in sales is, I talked about it in one of my last videos, is, when I started doing sales, I asked myself this, is when I'm out doing sales, what kind of person would have to come sell me? What would they have to be like? What would they have to sound like? How would they be smiling? And I started to form that opinion of what that person would look like, and I envisioned it. And I started practice pitching in the mirror. I started recording my pitches. I'd carry a voice recorder in there, and I'd listen to my pitch, and I structure it on my good and my bad days. So that, as a matter of fact, that's not in here, but I would say, if you're having your best day you've ever had, record it. You keep going and you record it, okay? And you save that in your files, okay? When you're having your worst day ever, record it, and save that in your files. And you study those, okay? So now you figure out what makes a good and a bad day. What was the difference in your attitude, your voice fluctuation, the way that you acted? I mean, you can hear it in your voice. You know, hey, listen, my pitch was really weak. My close was soft this day. You know what? I wasn't personal with people this day. So those are a couple things that are going to help out. Number 4, this one I always got to laugh at. You know, and it actually has done very well. I trained this in the class, and I couldn't even believe how successful this was. I honestly just started this to do fun. And whenever somebody would answer the door, or I'd walk into a business, I'd go, hey, there he is. Honestly, when you say there he is, or hey, there she is, and you smile, people automatically feel important, okay? And when somebody feels important, you know, they feel like they got that, they're like, oh, hey, what's going on? You know, they look, their wall that was here is gone. It drops. They're already comfortable with you, and now you have the upper hand once again. It's an exciting thing to break down barriers and walls before they even get created, okay? And number 5, I'll roll right into this one, it's going to be voice fluctuation. I always like to use the example, why the voice fluctuation is so important is because as a salesman, you know, when you're pitching people, people tend to lose interest sometimes. You'll be in the middle of your pitch, and a person, they'll only hear pieces, you know? Kind of like when you read the newspaper. What's the first thing that you see on the newspaper? You see the headline, okay? And a lot of times the body, if the headline's interesting enough, the body's, you know, you'll read it. But I also like to, I use, let's just say, if you're watching your favorite sitcom tonight, I want you to pay attention to this, okay? So you watch, I don't care if you got DVR or not, watch them tonight. So when you're watching a movie, you watch that movie, and then all of a sudden, you know, these guys are talking like this, hey, what's going on? I know you can't hear me talk, but they're kind of whispering. So you turn your TV up real loud, and you're like, man, this thing's quiet, you know, so you turn it up. Now, as soon as it goes to commercial, you know, I'd always have roommates, let's just say, in the background, or the wife sleeping or something. As soon as it go to commercial, you know, and I mean, this thing, we blaze, and you know, I'm like, oh my God, I'm trying to crank it down. As soon as the movie come back on, it's like, you know, and they're whispering. I'm like, what the heck? They do the volumes up and down, you know, and they do that so you pay attention, and it wakes your brain back up. Okay, your brain, it tends to go in this more of a resting place, you know, and you know you've done it before, your day's off. I mean, it happens to the best of us, you know. So if somebody's talking and you aren't interesting enough, in which, if you've been pitched, if let's just say you own a business, you get pitched, you know, 10 times a week, pretty soon maybe you don't listen as much. But if you've got a guy that's, you know, moving his voice and stuff, you know, honestly, you can and you ask him questions, stuff like that, you're going to keep them interested. And when I say voice fluctuations, I'm going to fluctuate also on things that I want them to remember, okay? So remember that, okay? So just assume I'm pitching a product, and I'm going to use a pizza promotion that we're doing right now. Yeah, so the pizza promotion, it's only, so I'm going to fluctuate only, so it's only $20. I'm going to go up with only, down with $20. So they hear only. So now it's like, okay, it's not bad. It's only $20. You get you actually get 2 pizzas absolutely free. So now they remember absolutely free in their head. Okay, the buy one get ones, I don't say it, and you get half off anything you want. It's good until the end of February of next year. You know, I'm going to fluctuate on certain things that I want them to lock into their brain. So if they only heard half my pitch, they heard all the best stuff. So $20, absolutely free pizzas. It's good till next February. How many you want? That's all they need to know anyway, right? So, fluctuate your voice. Pausing. Now I think this is super important, especially when you get really, really good in the sales field. This was a huge problem of mine for a long time as I get to speaking so fast. Sometimes you might even hear it in the videos. You know, you get so good at the sales field, and actually, here's a great way to look at it. When you're brand new, a brand new person sometimes, when they first get that brand new training, they skyrocket out of the gates and they start killing it in the sales field. Okay? Now you go into the next week and all of a sudden you watch their sales start to plummet. You know? And sometimes they don't, but a lot of times they'll go up, they'll go down, and then they can pick back up again. But they don't know why they drop down, and they either quit or they keep going from there. Why does that happen? It's because at first their pitch is kind of rocky, so they actually pause throughout their pitch because they don't know their pitch that great. They're excited about the product, and they also have a natural indifference, okay? So when you're actually going out to do the sales game here, when you're brand new, so you're like, it's a really cool pizza promotion thing, you know, and how it works is $20. You get some free stuff, pizzas, and you know, and here's what it is. You know, people can only think so fast. When we give pitches, you know, honestly, if you've done it 1,000 times, you've heard it so much that, to be honest, when I go out and do sales, I can pitch. Let's just say I'm selling a roof today. I can pitch a roof and I can sell somebody on a roof while I'm thinking about what I'm going to eat for dinner. I mean, I've done it so many times that it's really second nature to me. But I can talk. You talk so fast that you don't even realize you're talking that fast. The new guy, he talks slow because he doesn't get it, but it gives their brain a chance to catch up. So what you want to do when you're pitching people, especially when you're an old dog, is every so often, like every so many words, give somebody their brain a chance to catch up with what you're saying. Yeah, we're doing this awesome promotion. Pause. Real simple how it works is pause. You set this up for this. Pause. You know, pause a little bit. Give people a chance to set, you know, their brains to catch up. Watch your sales fly through the roof because of this. Whenever you have a product that you hand to somebody, the number 7 is going to be, I call this the Broomstick Effect. Okay. I want to try to make people feel like they got the upper hand, even though I know that I always have the upper hand, okay? The Broomstick Effect, you know, so let's just say I have this, and, you know, this is, let's just say this is a Kirby vacuum, for instance. You know, we're handing an actual Kirby vacuum. Here, I'll let you take a look. I bend my back knee, I lean back, and I hand it to them like they're going to hit me, you know? Especially if you're doing the door-to-door game, you know, people actually get, you know, a guy my size, you know, 230 pounds, you know, they're a little intimidated with a guy my size, or, you know, you got people out there doing shady stuff. Sometimes when you walk to a business, I mean, if you're kind of that loud, booming voice, you can be aggressive. When you kind of have that, you know, the broomstick gives it like, hey, I'm kind of afraid of you, this and that, and they're like, yeah, I'll take you, little punk, and, you know, they feel like they got the upper hand. But on all actuality, that's exactly what you want them to do. So the broomstick's going to help you be more successful as far as getting your product in people's hands, okay? Knocking that fear out. If you're out doing the door-to-door game, you know, and you're selling a product, you know, and you got those people you knock and they won't answer the door. One of the things that I like to do, you know, they're looking at the door and they won't, you know, they're like, yeah, what is it? You know, and you give the pitch, yeah, here's what it is. You know, we got this awesome promotion we're doing. Here's how it works. You know, and they're like, yeah, I don't know. What you do is you step back, you put the product next to the door handle, and you just stare at it. And subliminally in their mind, they assume they have to open that door to grab that product. Here, matter of fact, just grab it, put it in there. You can keep the door shut, that's fine. I'll pitch you through the door. You know, but now I got the product in their hand. Matter of fact, it's already in their house. You know, so now I already have that in there on somebody that if I'd have never gotten their hand, they probably aren't going to buy it anyway. Okay, I mean, it's just the same thing that I mean, if it's cold outside and I want to get inside, I start wiping my feet, and people subliminally assume that they're supposed to let you in, and they let you in. You know, so. Talk about people's neighbors or situations, dogs, cats, whatever. And I don't care if you're doing door-to-door or business-to-business. If it's other businesses, you know, oh, man, I don't know if you, hey, did you see the new flooring, the company over here? Did you see what they did to their office over there? No, I didn't. Yeah, Jim over there, he actually just got this awesome setup over there. You have to go check it out. He actually has this waterfall that goes through the office. I mean, if you don't do anything else today, just walk by and say what's up to Jim. Matter of fact, maybe you guys can sneak out and use one of these things, you know. When you're talking about other people want to tell you about their story a little bit. Now, I know this takes a little bit more time, sometimes building a relationship. If you're doing big sales, though, and you build that relationship, you do have the upper hand. You know, so if you're selling $10, $20, $30 products, probably don't suggest it. But I know sometimes when I sell the, you know, I work with the roofing siding guy, and I'm making, you know, I'm knocking out sales that are, you know, $10, $20, $30,000 a pop. My objective is to build a relationship and more of a long-term relationship because, you know, I'm not working on $10, $20, $30 commissions. I'm working on $1, $2, $3, and $5,000 commissions for every sale that I make. So I want to make sure I got a good enough relationship so that person feels extremely bad if they're trying to screw me or the company over, you know, and that it makes it really easy to collect later on. So we did have a guy in my office. I taught him how to do this. Talking about the neighbor situations. Now this guy, he would go out and by the time he finished the neighborhood, he would actually know more about the neighbors than the neighbors did, and all they looked forward to him stopping by. When he would come by, he's like, "Hey, my name's Mike. You know, I just talked to Nancy. Do you know Nancy next door? You know, the one with the cat. Did you hear her cat just got hit by a car, broke his leg? Oh, really? Yeah, it's doing good now. You know, matter of fact, it was, I don't know, do you know Susan 2 doors down? Matter of fact, it was her daughter that came out and picked the cat up and took it. Really? Yeah, you know, I don't know if you know, she just graduated 5th grade. She's done. Yeah, oh, man. She said, well, I know my aunt did it, you know, and all of a sudden they want to tell that story. This guy'd go out and see 20 people. He'd sell 17 of them every day, all day. I mean, everybody buy from him, they liked them, and they'd feel horrible not to buy from the guy, and he would just walk around telling stories all day. It was kind of cool. The number 11 is going to be name the whole neighborhood, you know, I mean, and when I'm saying that, I did it in one of my last videos here, you know, I'll do it again in just a second here, but this is the Jones effect. Every time you get a yes or no, you know, you know, for instance, if somebody tells me, no, hey, what's your name? James. James, I appreciate your time. We'll see you later. James. I don't care if James bought it or not. He liked the product, just didn't have the money. So I go to the next door, I knock on the door. Hey, what's going on? How are you? I'm doing good. What's up? Yeah, I was actually just talking to your neighbor James. He loved what we were doing. Real simple. Let me show you how this thing works. You know, I put the product in hand. You know, and I never lied. I didn't say that Jim bought it. I just said Jim liked it. Jim did like it. He just didn't have the money to buy it. But now I just got an own thing. He knows I'm talking to the neighbors. You know, I got the neighbors' names. You know, I'm in. You know, it's kind of like having that, you know, going to the same high school as a chick when you're at the bar, man. You got it in, you know. So, but naming the whole neighborhood. I mean, you know, I know one of my business partners used to love this. I'll do it one more time here. It's Ron, Frank, Kimber, John, Tony, Tommy, Benny, Bobby, Susie, Sally, Hank, Henry, Marcus, Marvin, Larry, Laura, Lisa, Todd, Ted, Tracy, Randy, Mandy, Sandy, Candy, Karen, Catherine, King, Kyle, Katie, Jeremy, Jimmy, Johnny, Jason, Willis, and Frankfurt. That's one of the new guys there in the neighborhood that just picked one up. So you name everybody off in the neighborhood that bought one too, you know. So number 12 is show a person stubs or give them checks. You know, whether you're hitting B2B or door-to-door, once again, you know, you're showing that you have results. Okay, you're walking around, you got these checks in hand. Yeah, if you just want to write a check out like your like the business next door to you, like your neighbor did. Yeah, I just need to fill out receipts. If you want to do receipts like any of the neighbors did, they take some business cards on here, you know, and those are always a huge positive. Number 13, I like to laugh and I like to joke, you know. I learned this from my grandpa. He always had this unique laugh. I mean, he did it when he played music. He did it when he did sales. You know, just you know. And now, granted, this isn't for everybody. Some people just don't, you know, they don't have quite as much fun out there. But if you ever get a chance to laugh and just have some fun, people sometimes they just have, you know, they have a crappy day at work and you know, things just aren't going well for them. And sometimes you're that person that cheers up the day. So try to sit out there and laugh, you know, tell a joke, have some fun. I would watch your jokes there, you know. So, but have a little fun. Number 14, this is super important here. This is called one pitch above, okay? People like to buy from people that are similar to them, okay? And you don't want to scare people off. One of the things that scares people off is if they're walking out and they're that person that lives in mom's closet and they're super introverted and you're that, you know, cocky, aggressive salesman. You're that guy that picked on them in high school, so they walk out and, hey, this is the guy who walks out, hey, what's going on now? How can I help you? And you're like, hey, what's up, bud? How are you? You know, I mean, you scared the shit out of this guy. I don't care what it is that you have to sell. This guy doesn't want to buy from you. He's like, what the, you know, I mean, he's scared. And, you know, I mean, it looks like he just saw a ghost. You wonder what's going on. It's you, okay? So every time somebody answers the door, you know, on my actual hello, I'm like, hey, what's good? Wait, excuse me. Hey, what's going on? How are you? My voice will actually fluctuate in my hello because I don't want to be too high, I don't want to be too low. I want to figure out what you're going to say. As soon as you answer me, I know how loud you talk. So if you're like, hey, what's going on? I'm like, hey, what's up? Hey, real simple how it is. If you're like, so hey, what's going on? I'm like, hey, I'm doing good. How about you? I'm always going to be just one pitch above you. Unless you're that real cocky sales guy, that I'm going to act unimpressed and I'm going to go one pitch below you or a couple pitches below you. I'm like, yeah, hey, what's going on, bud? How are you? Yeah, listen, let me show you what's up. Here's what's going on. You know, and that's the only time that I'll actually change that, okay? Number 15, one arm length away, okay? When you're doing sales, I always want to stay one arm length away until I knock out that bubble. Because when you originally enter the bubble, so let's just say I knock on a door, I'm always one arm length away. I can shake hands if I like to shake hands. I can hand products to them. If I go in business to business, I'm one arm length away because I'm not in your personal zone because everybody has that bubble. Now, once I hand you the product, and if I want to show you the product, so I hand you the product, I said, matter of fact, let me show you how this thing works. Now I'm going to slide, and I'm going to get right next to you because you don't want to have that over the counter, I'm against you type thing. I'm going to get on your side, and we're going to be a team on figuring out how you can not only buy, but buy multiples, and we can get this sell initiated, okay? Don't prejudge. I think this is the biggest thing that a ton of salespeople do. Old dogs, new dogs. I mean, yeah, I don't care how long you've been in the sales game. Everybody's prejudged once, and you go up and they you just assume that certain places they aren't going to do as well as others. Oh, this looks like an awesome area. That's a pretty rundown business. I'm not going to go into that business. I remember there was we were getting door to door one time, and we had this one territory, and this guy Braden, he had this territory. The houses were pretty spread out, but pretty nice houses. But there was this one house that's probably about a half a mile drive. I mean, it's a good walk, and then this dumpy old house at the end. And one of the guys said to Braden, he said, "Man, I'm not walking all the way down there. I mean, look at that place. I'm not going to walk all the way down there and I'm going to take a no. That's a long freaking walk for a no." And Braden's like, "Well, hell, I've already hit a lot of these doors. The hell with it, I'll walk down there, And this is early off in the day, It's probably like 2:30. He walks down to the end of this driveway and knocks on the door. This old farmer answers, asks, "Hey, what's going on? How can I help you?" Braden gives the pitch. The guy's like, "Yeah, this sounds like a good idea." He's like, "Man, I tell you what, I think my whole staff would like this." He actually had farm hands working for him. Now, the farm hands, he said, "Well, let me ask you this." He's like, "Well, how many of these things do you got?" And he's like, I got about 15 of these left, and I go home for the day. He's like, "I tell you what, I'll buy them all." All right? So the day that everybody was prejudging this one house because it's in the middle of nowhere, it looks like trash, this is the guy that had the most money and bought everything that he had, So never ever prejudge. Sometimes that person that you think won't buy is going to be the person that buys the most, okay? Actually, one of my other favorite stories, this other guy came out, he got out of this really beat-up car at this event, and one of my managers, Joe, he sees this guy coming out of he watched him walk in, and he see him coming out of the gas station. We're doing an event, and the guy walks up, and he's got these cut-off jeans. I mean, he looks like a 1970s rock star, just had a rough life, and Joe pitches him, and he doesn't pitch the rehash, doesn't try to sell him multiples. He kind of prejudges the guy. The guy's like, "Yeah, heck, I'll take one," and instead of asking if he wanted more and pitching that, he just said, "Yeah, whatever." Well, anyway, the guy takes the credit card out of his pocket and hands it to Joe. It happens to be an American Express Black Card. And for all of you that don't know what an American Express Black Card is, this is the best credit card that you can have, okay, because it has that unlimited, potential. You can buy an airplane on a card, okay, and you have to spend a certain amount, or you can't even have the card. So you have to pretty much be rich to have the American Express Black Card, and this guy had it. As soon as the guy walked away, we were like, "You gotta be kidding me." I said, "Joe, I can't believe you only sold one." I was upset. Next thing is, number 17 is the mean guy. How do we handle this, okay? The secret in the field with the mean guy, what are you doing? The real stern guy that scares the hell out of most salespeople, that guy is a buyer. He's a buyer more times than a non-buyer, okay? And all you do is you just have a stern voice and you have confidence. Yeah, real simple, here's what we're doing. And you don't act afraid, because guess what? Every other salesman that came in there ran out of there. This guy still has all his money because they're scared as hell. They don't know what to say to this guy. Nobody does. All you got to do, yeah, real simple. Let me show you what's going on. Let me break this down for you, okay? Step 1, do this. Step 2, do this. You want to grab your checkbook? We'll get it filled out. I appreciate it. And the guy's like, "No problem. I'll be right back." Okay? Those sales feel better than any sale that you can make, and you'll grow to appreciate the mean guy. You'll have a good laugh about it. You walk away, you're like, "I can't believe this." And you'll sell it 9 out of 10 times all day long. Rehash. Remember, everybody has a stash hidden. I did a class on this. You can watch some of my past videos. Act as if you're giving them the best deal in the world, okay? Make sure that you're always promoting rehash, you're promoting multiples, and, honestly, these are usually $40. We dropped down to 20, but right now we're actually doing 2-pack for only $35. So you can get 2 for $5 less than you'd buy 1 for. Did you want to just do the 2 today, or you just want the 1? You act almost like you're discouraged about the 1.